Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hidden Video Game Details, the series that aims to show you things that you may not have known about your favourite games so that you can look really clever in front of your weird Uncle Steve. In today's episode, we teach a new dog new tricks in Far Cry 6, we catch our mum doing something that she shouldn't be in Guardians of the Galaxy, and we handle a hostage situation in Deus EX Human Revolution. As always, if you think you know of a hidden video game detail that I'm yet to cover, then the best places to let me know are the comment section or on my social media accounts, the links to which are in the description. Oh, and leaving a like lets me know that you enjoy my content. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. So let's begin today's episode with LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Releasing all the way back in 2013, just when superhero interest was reaching its pinnacle, LEGO Marvel lets you take control of over 180 Marvel characters, all the way from the famous to the well, not so famous. Well, one of the characters you can play as is Johnny Storm, better known as the Human Torch. Now, if you're not familiar with the Human Torch, he is a member of the Fantastic Four, who has the ability to, among other things, control fire. Perhaps his most iconic power is the ability to envelop himself in flames, and it's using this power we can find today's first detail. If you quote-unquote flame on near something made of ice, then this will happen.
Flame on!
So the ice will melt thanks to the heat generated by Johnny. I mean, it's a detail that obviously makes sense, but it's still really cool to see it in a LEGO game. Speaking of superheroes, let's take a look at another really cool detail from the Guardians of the Galaxy game. Now, in the last episode of this series, we discovered that your AI allies would take note of your actions when speaking to you, even calling you out if you decided to explore on your own.
Are you seriously trying to sneak away on me right now? You literally just said I was doing great.
Well, today's Guardians detail can be seen on a young Peter Quill's birthday. In a flashback sequence, we see Peter's mum inviting him upstairs for some cake. Now, if you take your time to explore the future Star-Lord's bedroom, when you go upstairs, mum will say this.
Well, look who decided to finally come up.
Where's my cake?
So Peter's mum will be waiting for you to come upstairs, like the good mum that she is. However, if you decide that you're just too damn hungry and need cake now, you can head straight upstairs, where you can catch your mum doing this.
Oh, that was fast. Give me a sec. I didn't think you'd actually come up.
Maybe being on time is my new thing.
So if you're quick, you can catch Peter's mum sneaking a bite of the cake, thinking that she wouldn't be caught. It's a really cool detail. Speaking of details that require you to take your time, let's take a look at a really cool detail in Deus EX Human Revolution. Now, at the beginning of the game, you have to visit Sarif headquarters, but before you make yourself comfortable, you're informed of an urgent situation that needs your attention.
Adam, it's David. You in the building?
Just entered the lobby.
Sorry to pull you out of sick leave so soon, but we've got a situation. A break-in at our Milwaukee Junction factory. Meet me at the helipad.
I have to see Pritchard first. Something's wrong with my retinal enhancement.
Frank's on the second floor in the tech lab. Make it quick. People's lives are at stake.
So it sounds pretty serious. Best get a move on and save those hostages. Or not. You see, if you take your time at Sarif HQ, things don't take too long to turn sour. It starts off with a warning.
Where are you, Adam? You don't have time to mess around. Get to the helipad, or something seriously bad is gonna happen.
Before you're told this.
Christ, Adam, while you were strolling around the offices, the situation got worse. Meet me in the chopper, I'll explain.
8 people, Adam. 8 good men and women whose only crime was to come to work today. And those so-called pro-human purists slaughtered them.
All of them? You sure?
If we're lucky, the plant manager might still be alive, Josie Thorpe. They needed her to get into the administration wing. But SWAT isn't holding out much hope for her survival.
We'll see about that.
That's not all. Once you arrive to the now dead hostages location, the police won't be best pleased to see you.
You're the Sheriff security guard, right? The one we were delayed for? Hope you know those hostages are dead because of you and your boss. What the hell is it with your boss holding us up? Does he know that he cost his own people their lives?
I love this detail because in so many games you're told that time is of the essence, but then you can take as long as you like before tackling an objective. Open world games are particularly guilty of this. At least walking around and admiring the scenery in Human Revolution actually has consequences. So this next detail is probably so well hidden, as driving is by far the least fun way to get around in this game. Now, I don't know about you, but when I play a Just Cause game, I spend very little time in cars. Of course, that's because Rico is equipped with many better and, more importantly, fun tools to traverse the landscape. It's kind of a shame really, as some of the vehicles in the Just Cause games are pretty cool, enough to make the average Joe stop and stare anyway. Well, if you drive around the streets of Just Cause 4 and beep your horn, there is a chance that the NPCs will do this. So as long as you're driving a nice car, like my limousine here, then the NPCs will take a photo of your cool ass ride. As I said, I honestly think that a lot of people won't know this detail simply because they rarely drive a car. So the penultimate game for today's video is a game that a lot of you may not have heard of before. Feather calls itself a multiplayer game about exploration, relaxation, and immersion, and it certainly is all of that. You play as a bird in a world where there is no combat, no enemies, and no threats. In fact, the only other living thing that you may see are other players' birds as they fly around the game world too. Now, one of the coolest things you can do when playing as a bird in Feather is to dive into the water before re-emerging again. Well, not only does this look badass, but when performing this spectacular looking move, there is a chance that this may happen. So when flying back out of the water, there is a chance that your bird will have picked up a fish in its beak. Now this is actually pretty rare, taking around 20 to 25 dives for you to pick up a fish, but it's still a really cool detail. Oh, and I'll be honest, I only really included this detail because I really enjoyed playing this game. So to end today's video, let's once again revisit the world of Far Cry 6. Now, since its release, I've been pleasantly surprised by the amount of hidden details in the latest installment of the Far Cry series. And even a month after its launch, you guys are still suggesting new details that I haven't covered. The first of these details actually contains a spoiler for the Far Cry 6 story mode, so if you haven't completed the game yet, skip to the timestamp on screen. I'll give you a few seconds. So one of the best characters in the Far Cry 6 story is Honron, a character who lives and breathes for the Rebellion. It's a shame then that she died after a bombing run around halfway through the game's story mode. Well, it seems that we're not the only ones who are fans of Honron, as if you head back to the island where you last partied with her, this will happen.
Honron.
What up? I'm probably super busy blowing off some Castillo shit right now, so leave a message. Ah, pinga, I forgot the button to press to end my recording.
I miss you.
So Danny will call Honron's phone where he can listen to her answer machine before softly saying that he misses her. It's probably the saddest moment in the entire game and is also entirely missable. So let's end today's video on a much brighter note. Chorizo the puppy is one of the game's fangs for hire, but his ability isn't being able to maul enemies to death, it's to distract them with his cuteness. Now as mentioned, Chorizo is a puppy, but even so he is very obedient. For proof of this, aim your gun at Chorizo. So Chorizo will play dead if you aim your gun at him. It's one of the cutest video game details I think I've ever seen. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. Remember, if you are a fan of Easter eggs, secrets, and tiny details in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Be sure to follow me on my social media accounts. The links to those are in the description, and be sure to let me know of any hidden details or Easter eggs that you think I may have missed. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.